Tonight's episode is brought to you by our new partner, Genesis Gold. Make sure you visit cavaliergold.com. Let's listen to what our partners have to say.
An American who keeps up with the real news, you know by now the severity of the economic issues that are plaguing our great nation. My name is Jonathan Rose and I'm the CEO of Genesis Gold Group, the only major faith-driven company in the industry. 2024 is a year full of uncertainties, with trillions of dollars in national debt, inflation impacting your savings, and a pivotal election year. Your peace of mind is more valuable than ever. Now is the time to use physical gold and silver to preserve your hard-earned retirement savings with a gold IRA. Call Genesis Gold Group today. Our team has decades of experience helping folks just like you take their first step on the path to true financial freedom with a gold and silver IRA.
Call Genesis Gold Group today at 1-800-200-GOLD for a no-commitment, informative consultation with one of our experts to find out if we can be a fit for you. Call now at 1-800-200-4653 or visit genesisgoldgroup.com.
Make sure you go to cavaliergold.com. Tonight, we are joined by 2025 offensive line commit Grayson Reid. He tells us why he chose the Who's and what he will bring to Charlottesville. Don't miss this one next on the Cavalier Connection.
Welcome on into another edition of the Cavalier Connection podcast. I'm your host, Jack Lowe, joined as always by my dad, Jeff Lowe. And tonight we are joined by 2025 UVA recruit, offensive lineman out of Washington, D.C., Grayson Reid. How are you doing tonight, Grayson?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're great.
Doing fantastic. Thank you for coming on once again. So you're getting ready to start your senior year of high school. How has your summer been, and what kind of things have kept you busy before starting up fall camp?
My summer's been great. Super excited for the season and everything. Had the season we started, I had my OV, great time hanging out with like a bunch of my future teammates. First time I met John, which was great, and obviously meeting Jim too. And me and John did some good recruiting, got Jim's all aboard. And so obviously that was great, and that was a lot of fun. But then after that, I mean, me and Coach have talked, it's go time. I got senior year. Need to be locked in, ready for that. And so, been a lot of obviously have our summer lifts. Got myself a job. You know, everybody got to get my money up.
Yeah, there you go.
So I would from really June to the last week of June and through all of July. I worked my summer job from 8 to 3. Then I would go to team lifts from 3:30 to 6, 7-on-7, all that stuff. Yeah.
Keeping yourself busy. That's good.
Yeah.
So how has your fall camp been so far? I know it's probably one of the most grueling times as a player.
Oh, yeah. Well, because I go to a really small school up in DC. And so, I mean, football is not as big at my school particularly. So the league rules is we're not allowed to start until the second week of August. So today was our second day. Yesterday was full, just no pads, everybody out. Condition test, all that, running through the basics of stuff. Today we got to put the helmets on, which is fun. And tomorrow we'll have our shoulder pads on. But I mean, right now it's going good. Good shape. Right now I'm holding on my weight well. I'm one of the captains on the team, so just obviously always trying to work on my leadership abilities and everything, how I'm impacting my teammates and the influence I have on everybody.
Nice. What do you see are your strengths as an offensive lineman, and do you play both sides of the ball in high school?
Yeah, I do. I do have to play a lot of zero tech. Just sit there and take on the double team from the center and guard.
Right.
Yeah, that's not the most fun. But on offense, I mean, I think I've talked about this happening a lot. I play left tackle in my high school, and I would say for offensive lineman, I'm pretty athletic. My school allows me to get out in space a lot on wide receiver screens, leading the jet sweep and stuff. And so that's one of the things that I feel is the strongest part of my game, my ability to run an open space, get up and get on the linebacker. I would say in pass pro, I have pretty good change of direction and quick feet, which translate well. And my hand fighting is pretty solid in my opinion. But I think being a left tackle this offseason, I worked a lot more on my inside zone footwork, how I'm going to transition to the center and stuff. And then my strength overall, I just needed to, especially my upper body, I need to get that a lot better. And so I made progress, but can continue more.
That's something I noticed when watching your film. One of the first things I noticed is some of those counter runs or even those run plays. They have you playing that tackle, run to the other. You're so mobile. At least from what I've seen, you've been pretty mobile, getting to the other side of the line and being able to just kill people. So I love to see it.
Like, yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Is there any particular offensive lineman in the NFL that you like to model your game after or study?
Oh well, man, all of them. So being a DC guy, I'm a Cowboys fan, but I do live in DC.
Oh,
So
God.
He got me excited.
no, so obviously Trent Williams was
Oh yeah.
cool guy to watch, man.
That's the standard.
That is
Oh yeah.
that's one of the most talented offensive linemen I've ever seen. And
Oh
his
yeah.
athleticism, I love watching that. And obviously, as a center, Jason Kelsey's obviously great to watch.
Mhm.
Zach Martin, when I was a lot younger, like that 2016 Cowboys O-line, Tyron Smith, Zach Frederick. And the new guy lately is I've been watching a lot of Linderbaum. And just how he does like with counter covering those pulling guards and his inside zone. Those are pretty fun to watch.
I say the Cowboys did have a loaded offensive line for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We that was our next question. I was going to ask you about your favorite NFL team. I was really anticipating because we're Commander fans, and so knowing where you were from, I was like, he's got to be a Commander fan. I was just sure of it. You broke my heart. Dallas travels.
They do travel. Yeah. So we saw that you were recruited by a lot of other ACC schools like Duke, Boston College, and even Big Ten with Maryland. What led you to ultimately choosing UVA?
Oh, well, I think for me, I think people only saw that I got offered a little bit later by Hef, later I guess you could say. I was on signing day last year in December, but he came and visited my school in the April of my sophomore year. UVA had always been on the radar. It's local. I've been down with my family when I was younger. The reputation speaks for itself, academics-wise. And I just felt I really had a great connection with Coach Heffernan. I went down to a game, loved it. Went down to camp, and I really enjoyed getting coached by him. I think I understood his coaching. Left like it was something I could get on the fly. And I just felt really comfortable with him and a lot of the staff. And then when I went down on on one of the junior days in January, I got a lot more of my academic questions answered. Coach Elliott came up to my school, and I think that for me showed me how much of a priority recruit I was for them. And I think for me that was that trust and bond, and a lot of the team values with faith, family, community service. Those were really big to me, and when I felt it was the best place I could develop as a football player, but also a man and student off the field.
Yeah,
I couldn't have said that any better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that kind of leads us into our next question. With all the recruits we've talked to, they all seem to have something in common. Everybody seems to connect really well with Coach Elliott. What has been your main impressions of Coach Elliott and the whole coaching staff as a whole, with your talks with them?
Oh yeah, whole coaching staff is honest, but I think Coach Elliott really tried to make that connection to know me outside of football. He's always asking me about my family, asking me about what's going on in my life, making sure I'm good. And I think this really, like, obviously my parents were very super supportive, but my mom had never been down to UVA before, with me for one of the football visits. And so I was in the car out doing my driving practicing and stuff. When I committed, I called Coach Heffernan, and he responded. I told him he was happy, very happy. And I called Coach Elliott, and he didn't answer, so I waited a little bit later, called him, and he called me back. And I think the first thing he told me after I committed was, "I'm so happy that you are going to be able to get this UVA education." And I think that speaks for Coach Elliott as a person, because he's just so he cares about the players so much outside of football. Obviously, football is important, but he cares about your development so much. And I think for Heffernan and the rest of the staff, it's the same. And I know Heffernan is going to coach me hard, but he's going to love me hard too. And I think I respond best to that because I'm fine with the old school yelling in my face all day, cussing me out. I don't care because I know at the end of the day, Hef has my best interest in mind, and he truly does care about me. And I think just watching him interact with my family and the staff interact with my family on the official visit, like we're in our meeting, he's getting my little brother involved. My little brother doesn't like football that much, but we're getting him involved. And so I think that just truly is a testament of his character and how much he really does care about his players.
Yeah, that's the same sentiment we gotten from all the recruits, that what they say about Tony Elliott. And Tony Elliott's been through a whole heck of a lot since he got to Virginia,
Totally.
And I think that there's no better individual to handle some of the adversity other than himself. So we're huge Tony Elliott fans. I know you've kind of talked about this already. So I guess you were able to connect with some of the recruits, some of your fellow recruits when you went down for your official visit. Who all did you say you got to connect with?
So I spend the most time obviously with John and Jim. They're gonna be my linemen with me.
Yeah.
But I was really Bjorn, cool dude. Loved hanging out with Bjorn. Dylan Newton, short, the receiver. He's a great guy. Justin James. We're playing a lot of Madden. Like we've connected outside. We're playing Madden together a lot. And then I play pickleball with Montino Williams, the safety.
Yeah.
And then Davin Chandler, we were talking for a little bit, just casually about clothes, life, everything in general, So it was great.
That's great.
Great.
Yeah, it's great. You got that bond. We've talked to a few of those guys ourselves. They all seem like great guys.
Oh, totally.
So I know now that you've committed to Virginia, have you reached out to any other potential recruits and trying to bring them to Charlottesville with you? Have you had any success?
Yeah, I mean, I would say my big success is probably Jim Harris. I mean, that's my guy. We're able to get him. But right now, it's really one of those things with. I usually text Coach Hef. Coach Hef will text us, or Coach Elliott or someone, and like, "Hey, we want you to start recruiting this guy." And so for me right now, 2026 lineman Merrick Jin, I have a pretty good relationship with him. He goes to the same trainers I do. He grew up in DC, went to like a local high school with me. Now he's up at Exeter, but I know him pretty well. He wants me to help recruit him. Brady Skowitz, I don't know if that's how you say his last name, the old lineman down at Trinity. Have had me talk to him a little bit at the spring game when they offered him, and I've texted him with a little bit. And so it's really if they tell me to go recruit, I'm gonna go recruit. Obviously want everybody to join the class. So I'll do whatever.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear they do that. That's cool. It's nothing like a fellow recruit bringing somebody in. So and upgrading, getting that offensive line set up.
Yeah. So, as I said earlier, a lot of recruits say they connect really well with Coach Elliott. That seems to be one of the number one leading factors as to why people like to choose Virginia. The coaching staff seems so personal and wanting the best out of every player. The second thing is the luxury of the new football facility. Have you seen that? And how does it compare to other schools and facilities that you've visited?
That when I first saw it, I couldn't say anything. When I saw, I love lifting weights, weight room. The weight room is just beautiful. I just kept on. My mom started laughing. I just had my mouth open. I was just staring. It was crazy.
Kid at Christmas.
Exactly. And then I think that just shows how invested UVA is into Tony Elliott and the football program, into like how much they do trust the guys. And so I mean, that place is beautiful. Though. The weight room's amazing, the training facility's amazing, the sports med, the film room, the team, everything in that building is crazy.
Yeah. Awesome. Would you say the weight room is your favorite part?
Oh yeah, the weight room's crazy. That weight room, I love that weight room. And then I think the players' lounge, it wasn't fully finished, but from what I've seen on like social media and stuff, it looks pretty cool. And I mean,
I got the college football 25 running in there.
Oh yeah,
I've
have
seen.
to,
mm-hmm.
have to. And so I mean, I think that as a place for players to relax, unwind, hang out with their teammates, and create those bonds, those will be very fun times in there.
Definitely. So when talking with the coaching staff, maybe recently or maybe on your OV or whatever, have they mentioned possibly playing right away, or do you think it's a possibility of potentially redshirting, or are you just kind of waiting and seeing?
Yeah, Coach had basically told me he's going to redshirt me. So right now, I'm still 16. I don't turn 17 till September, and so what Coach Have was saying is like you won't turn 18 until the season starts, your freshman year, and so he was like, there's no rush. We're gonna put on good weight, good size, get me used to playing center and stuff. And I mean, I'm not mad. I trust their process. Would I love to play right away? Yeah, but if I'm not gonna help the team, I'll be in a bad center because I'm not ready, physically and mentally. I'm not gonna do that. And so I think I know they have like a plan for me in store, and I'm not gonna rush anything. I'm just gonna let the process go.
Absolutely.
Trust the strength staff, trust Coach Hef, Coach Mav, Coach Ork, all those guys. I know they have the team's best interests at heart, and so do I. So should be good.
Mhm. Yeah, nothing
I
wrong with
love your attitude.
redshirting because nothing wrong with it. It typically leads to very good development down the line. So that's great.
Yeah, I love the attitude on that. I got to tell you, 16, you just don't look 16. I swear you look like you're 20 years old. I didn't know you were 16. Holy cow. Did you say you got your license? Did you say earlier you were practicing driving at that's crazy.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
I just had no idea, and you definitely don't look that age at all. So
it says about it's really the facial hair, I'm gonna be honest.
I say you got the full beard going, like hey, you're gonna be a man on that offensive line. I know it.
I'm excited. I know big things are gonna happen.
Oh yeah. Hey, so what role has any of your previous youth coaches, parents, and/or high school coaches played in your academic success and your football development? Is there anyone you really wanted to give a shout out to?
Well, yeah. So I mean, I never played tackle football growing up. My parents, obviously, they were a little skeptical. They didn't want me getting concussions, and I completely understand that. And I think looking back on it, 10, 11-year-old Grace was a little bit too soft to be playing tackle football anyway. So I played flag at Flag Star Football, and there were a lot of coaches that really helped me. Carl Eller was a founder that, I mean, he really helped me just develop as an athlete in general. I got to play quarterback, wide receiver, running back, linebacker. I got to play everything.
You were the star.
Yeah, and now that's been my job for the past 4 summers, and I coach sometimes in the spring and fall. And so I think that has been a great program for me. I mean, Murray, I can't give enough thanks to Murray football. They took me in when I was 13, my first summer going into freshman year, out of shape. I was just 6 foot, 200 pounds, and at a school so small, I started right away at left tackle. I mean, the memories that I've made here are great. I mean, pretty much most of the schools in the area have talked to me about transferring, and I've respectfully shut it down just because Mike Engelberg, his son's actually on the team, so that's pretty cool. But they were the first people who really believe in me and trusting me and use me as a person to play there. And now recently I have an offensive line trainer, Mike Dillon, Fat Boys O-line. I think he's hands down I wouldn't be anywhere without him, to be honest. My stance, I look like an awkward duck out there. And I mean, he made me a great player. And I mean, with him, I don't know where else I'd be without him. And then he put me on with this new trainer, PR Strength, where I do my lifting and my speed and agility and stuff. And Pat Reeves and his whole staff out there have really, I wouldn't be able to be throwing dudes around and stuff. They got my upper body strength much better, my speed much better, and really helped me take my dieting more seriously. I think that's a big thing with high school guys. Obviously, your diet's not going to be the best. I mean, mine it isn't perfect now, but I think with my protein intake, some of the things I would on average would eat, they had me change it up a little bit or add or subtract foods. I think I'm grateful for all those people. And I mean, obviously my parents, family, they've done everything for me, pushed me to be better. Academically, it's always been the standard to be shooting for the moon. I mean, at Murray, great academic institution as well. Me and my siblings always joke. My sister was pretty smart. My brother's super smart, and they were like, they always joke the dumb football player. So I always mess with them. When and I think just because we're so competitive as a family, we're always pushing each other to be better. It's like as we all like joke as Reeds, like the excellence is like the bare minimum, and so it's always competitive.
That's awesome.
But it's way more fun that way, I think. So
Right.
those are my sports stuff.
No doubt. So we already talked about this a hair, but NCAA football 24 is out. Do you have the game?
Of course I have.
Oh,
to.
yeah.
Love the
And
game.
well, first, before I ask this part, are you running a dynasty with Virginia?
I'm gonna be honest. The dynasties I get so confused. I really just play my friends all day with each other. Like we'll go
I
with
got
just random teams.
Mhm.
Or I've done like a road to CFB. That's what I use Virginia
Okay.
or my home
Okay.
team Virginia.
I got you.
But I haven't had enough time to make a dynasty yet. I want to, but
No,
I'm not
I get it.
the best.
Did you say you played a new Madden game? Did that just
Um,
came out, Jack?
That came out yesterday, the early access. So
Okay.
Yeah, no, I didn't buy Madden. I mean, I like Madden's always been fun, but it really hasn't changed that much. And I got Madden
yeah,
24.
there's a lot of drama with it.
Yeah, and I mean I have
Yeah.
Madden 24. I got the pre-order from NCAA, and so I think
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what most of my friends really on the NCAA.
Right.
Mhm.
That's what I think I'll continue to be on.
What's your thoughts about being on that game in 2025?
That's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be cool. I mean, all my friends have already joked like they're gonna make me into a 99 overall.
Oh, yeah.
But they said if I got a bad snapper, I'm missing block, they're benching me. And so I mean,
Yeah.
it's all jokes. I think that'll be really cool. Obviously, that's kind of obviously. I mean, I never grew up playing NCAA, but I mean, it's kind of like Madden is kind of like a dream come true. Other people get to use you, and
Oh,
you
yeah.
just like it's like you're like kind of like a superhero a little bit. And so I think that's
Right. And now you don't just have to. Somebody like myself or Jack, we have to type our name in. You're going to be there.
yeah, and I think that's probably asking. I think it'll be a lot once I see it in
Oh, yeah.
person. That'll be pretty cool. So I'm excited
Oh,
for
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely. So a couple more for you here. Has anyone talked to you about the rivalry with Virginia Tech and what that game means to the fans?
Oh yeah, I mean, I follow the Barstool account on Instagram,
Uh-oh.
and
Okay.
every time they can, you can take a shot at Virginia Tech.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not mad at it. I mean, of course, if you're part of the UVA family, you don't like Virginia Tech. It's kind of just like
Yeah.
that's a must.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think once I really get there, I think it'll be intensified much more. But as right now, I mean, yeah, I don't like Tech. I'm a UVA
Oh,
guy.
yeah.
Oh, why would I like
There
it?
you go.
Yeah, I
That's
like to
right.
hear. Yeah, they've had our number for a long time, but I mean, this class that we're bringing in is phenomenal. Like all the names you're talking about that you were talking with on your visit and stuff. It's so many great names that Elliott's done with a great job with the recruiting. I think you guys will have a great possibility of being an outstanding team that could take them down. So I'd
Totally.
love to see all the names. I love to see that people are hearing about the rivalry. But final one before we get into our last little section, is there any message that you'd like to send out to all the Wahoo fans?
I mean, it's just like what you said. This 25 class is here to make a change. I mean, I know Coach Elliott and everybody has the program moving forward, but I know everybody in this team is going to in this class is going to make an impact on the team no matter what. And I think that's kind of been like the idea all year long. Is once we get there, it's strictly business. We don't want to see any L's in the bracket. Of course, I mean we're competitive people too, and so I think we're also just great players. So I think that'll help a lot too. The development, especially with the new facility, will make us much better. And I mean, we all trust this coaching staff to put us in the positions to win. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Wahoo fans should be excited for this class. So it should be good.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
We love it.
Yeah. So to wrap up our interview here, we'd like to do a quick fast money round of rapid fire questions. You good with that?
Oh yeah.
Let's go. All right, starting off, favorite color?
Red.
Red. Favorite
Yeah.
food?
Burgers.
Burgers, can't go wrong. Favorite shoe brand?
Shoe brand. Yeezy Slide.
Okay. Favorite soda?
Dr. Pepper.
I
Dr.
like that
Pepper.
stuff.
What about a favorite Gatorade color?
White.
White.
That's mine
So
too.
the cherry white or the sugary white?
The cherry white. The cherry white.
Yeah,
Cherry white? Okay. We already asked your favorite NFL team. Who, in your opinion, is the football greatest of all time?
Tom Brady. Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. What's a song that you like to listen to before a game?
First Day Out by T Grizzly.
Okay.
Always
Okay.
gets me pumped up.
Nice. Do you have a favorite sport other than football?
I play lacrosse. Lacrosse is a lot of fun. All football
Okay.
players, I think, should play lacrosse. You get to hit
Hey,
people.
UVA,
Ooh.
UVA's not bad at lacrosse either.
UVA has a great lacrosse program.
Oh yeah, for sure. I watch
Do
a
a
lot
sport
of the games. That'd
Oh,
be
yeah.
crazy. That'd be crazy. That'd be so much fun.
Yeah.
I'm not that good.
Absolutely. All right. Would you say you're an early riser or a late nighter?
So early riser. Early riser.
Early riser. Nice. A favorite movie?
Remember the Titans.
Remember that you cannot go wrong. You can't go wrong. Favorite place to eat?
Chipotle.
Chipotle. And what would you say is the person you look up to the most?
Probably both my parents. I mean, they've always been role models for me. It's like their work ethic and how they handle life and how they treat other people. I've always been in my big sister too. All three of those people just are big examples on how you be a person in the world. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, that's about all we got for you tonight, Grayson. We really appreciate you coming on. And like I said, I mean, this class of 25 is really building, and especially talking with more and more of you guys. You guys all seem to have your priorities straight with the academics and just life in general, becoming great men. And I can't wait to see you guys all develop. So we appreciate you coming on tonight.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
You. And that's going to wrap it up for this edition of the Cavalier Connection podcast. Be sure to give us a follow on X at TalkUVA Sports, Instagram, the _Cavalier_Connection_, Facebook and YouTube, the Cavalier Connection. The football season is right around the corner. Before you know it, we will be playing Richmond at Scott Stadium. It's going to be a great time. But again, we want to thank Grayson Reid for coming on to the program. He was an absolute pleasure to talk to. Dad, you got any closing thoughts before we wrap this one up?
Yeah, Grayson was a pleasure. As we say about a lot of these guys we've talked to, you can see the UVA in them, the Coach Elliott in them, just a humble guy, seems like a good guy. And I think he's going to be an outstanding addition to this 2025 class. Also, I was surprised he's only 16, as big as he is. So it was interesting to hear he's going to be redshirt in the first year is the plan. And how humble he is about that. And he knows and believes Virginia's got the best, his best interest in mind with that deal as well. Also, I did want to mention, as you just said, August 31st, make sure you tune in. We're going to be live from Scott Stadium. We're going to be out in the parking lots, filming live or recording live, whatever you say. And there is going to be a giveaway, a raffle that we will be doing. I'll mention it a little closer to the time. All you'll have to do is you'll come over to our table, sign up, and then we'll be doing a drawing for a cool gift basket. More details to come, but definitely we want you guys to come check us out. We're going to tour some tailgates. So if you'd like us to come to your tailgate, let us know. We're going to come over. We're going to let you get on camera if you want to get on camera. Or talk some football, whatever you want to do. If you want to talk about what's on your grill, you can talk about what's on your grill. Yeah. But exciting time on the 31st. Definitely be on the lookout. We'll be live on YouTube and Twitter on that day. And we'd like to get as many of you guys to come visit us at our table. We'll give our location once we get closer to the date or on that day. And we'd love for you to come visit, sign up for our raffle. I believe when we go tailgating, we'll do get some folks signed up for the raffle there as well. And we'll do a drawing before the game. And it's going to be a lot of good gear, some good fan stuff in there. So something that, if we can get it to you before the game, you'll be able to slide it on before going into the stadium. Opening week at Scott Stadium versus Richmond.
It'll be a big week. Couldn't be more excited. But other than that, that's going to wrap it up for us tonight. We'll see y'all next time. Go Hoos.